All right, let's go to example 2 together. This time, it basically filled out everything telling you instructions to do. And again, my mind, it is so hard for me whenever we have pre-filled out notes and I have to go through and read this. I'll tell you what happens. Our brains, whenever they look at something like this, they're trying to look at it as a holistic picture and understanding it all at one time. That's not really how math works. You kind of have to understand math one step at a time. So when your brain is struggling to understand what's going on here, just take a minute and read it A by A, meaning read the A's, read the B's, read the C's, read the D, read the E, read the F. Go slowly whenever you're looking at these notes, because I'm telling you these are great notes. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. We're going to end up with basically the same thing. The only difference is there's a 2 in front of this, which isn't that big of a deal. We'll work with it. Okay. So let's do this. Move one radical. Yeah, we're given this equation. Now move one radical to the other side of the equal sign. Square both sides. Check it out. This says plus this entire thing. So I'm going to minus it on both sides. I'm going to minus it on both sides. Minus it. Subtract it. What happens? That cancels out right there. And then 0 minus square root of x minus 6 looks like this. X minus 3 equals negative square root of x minus 6. Okay? Now what do we have to do? Now we have to square both sides. What does that look like? I'm going to switch to red, and I'm going to square both sides. Mister, do I square including the 2, even though it's not inside the house? Yes, because I said square both sides. That's what you're squaring. Square both sides. So when this is all said and done, check out what we have. 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. I'm going to put that right there. Let's see. And the square root of x minus 3 squared ends up being x minus 3. X minus 3. Now I'm going to do this. This negative squared, remember negative 1 is right here. Negative 1 squared is positive. And then when you square this little sign right here, it removes it. And you end up with x minus 6, which is perfect. All right, distributive property, what does that mean? Check out that 4 right there. We're going to multiply it in. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 3 is minus 12 equals x minus 6. Step E, combine like terms. Y'all solve for x. That's basically what we're doing, solve for x. So let's see. I'm going to put my 12 on this side. Move it over. And then I'm going to put my x over on the other side right here. So my 4x minus x is 3x. And again, this is not algebra 2. This is skills you're supposed to have. Negative 12 plus 12 goes to 0. X minus x goes to 0. And then negative 6 plus 12 is, in fact, 6. So divide this 3 out on both sides. And we end up with x equals 2. And now, this will get you a lot of credit because, hey, you did all this stuff and you came to what the answer supposedly is. But look what happened. When you go back into this and you plug this all in, you end up with something that is not true. You can plug all this information in and check it out. Remember that the square root of negative 1 is I. So on this line right here, this ends up being 2I plus, I'm going to take that plus right there. What's the square root of 4? That's 2. And what's the square root of a negative in there? That's I. So that's where that comes from. And then all of a sudden, 2I plus 2I, 4I equal to 0. No, that is not true. No, 4I is not equal to 0. So x equals 2 is an extraneous solution. And that's the crux of this. This is a huge part of it. This isn't a second note. This isn't worth 10 points. The extraneous solution is worth about 25% of this. So you got to make sure that you are checking for this. So that's example number 2.